Hey there guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So finally Anthropic has released their Claude 3.5 Haiku model, which is according to them even better than their previous flagship model, that is Claude 3 Opus, when it comes to advanced coding and reasoning tasks. And even before we start testing this model, let me tell you that comparing this model to GPT-4.0 Mini or Gemini 1.5 Flash is unfair, because according to a tweet from Anthropic, they said that since Claude 3.5 Haiku surpasses Claude 3 Opus, so they have increased the pricing of Claude 3.5 Haiku to reflect its increase in intelligence. I don't know where they got their reasoning for this tweet. And talking about pricing, this is where the 3.5 Haiku model stands at. You can see this is GPT-4.0, this is 3.5 Haiku, and you can see 4.0 Mini and Gemini 1.5. When it comes to pricing, it's not even close. It is 3 to 4 times the price of these smaller models. So it better keep up with that price. With that being said, let's get into the testing. So they have released this model in the API. So what we'll be doing is we'll be comparing this on Open Router. So Open Router is a platform where you get access to all the models, whether it's open source or it's closed source models, all at one place. As you can see, it's been just few hours and we have the 3.5 Haiku already over here. So we'll be comparing 3.5 Haiku, GPT-4.0, GPT-4.0 Mini, and Gemini 1.5 Flash latest version. So this version is not available in open routers. So that's the reason I'm opening this on AI Studio, just to keep the comparison fair. Before starting, I just want to show you that there is no system prompt in these models. So this will be a completely unbiased review of these models. As you can see, even in Google AI Studio, there is no system prompt. So let's move on to the first question. A murderer is condemned to death. He must choose between three rooms after his sentence is passed. The first room is full of raging fire. The second is full of assassins with their guns loaded. And third is full of lions that haven't eaten in 6 months. Which room should he choose? So let's see what response do we get. So the correct answer is room 3. So 3.5 Haiku gives us the answer. The answer is third room with the lions. So the room with the starving lions would actually be the safest choice among the three deadly options. Okay. So an expanded answer shows that because lions that haven't eaten in 6 months would be dead. No living lion could survive that long without food. That is a very good reasoning in my opinion. Let's check GPT-4's answer. GPT-4 also gives us a similar answer, that lions that haven't eaten in 6 months would be dead by now. Coming to GPT-4 Mini's answer, it says, and it's I think nearly identical to GPT-4's answer. So all the three models passed this question. Let's ask this question to Gemini 1.5 Flash. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, we get a straightforward answer. He should choose the room with the lions. Lions that haven't eaten in 6 months would be dead. So this is a pass from all the models. Let's move on to the next question. Okay guys, so this is level 2 reasoning question. The question is, you are a pilot flying a plane. The plane is empty when you start your journey. At the first airport, 5 passengers board the plane. At the second airport, 10 more passengers board and 3 passengers get off. At the third airport, 7 passengers get off and 6 passengers board. What is the pilot's name? So you see all these data is irrelevant, and the first sentence is only what matters. You are a pilot flying a plane. So the answer should be, it should mention that as told at the starting, it is you who is flying the plane, or it should mention itself. If it says that there is no mention of who is flying the plane, then it's a wrong answer. Let's see. So we have got the response. So Claude 3.5 Haiku tells that the pilot's name is not mentioned in this scenario. And it says that if you want to know the total number of passengers on the plane at the end of the journey, I can help you calculate that. But I cannot determine the pilot's name from the given information. So this is clearly a fail, as I told you. But let's look at GPT-4's answer. It says, you mentioned at the beginning that you are a pilot flying a plane, which implies that the pilot's name would be your name. So this is a correct answer. GPT-4 Mini's answer is, the pilot's name is the person reading this question, which is you. So I can't say that GPT-4 Mini's answer is absolutely right, but it's way better than Claude 3.5 Haiku's answer. So let's ask this question to Gemini 1.5 Flash as well. Let's see. Gemini 1.5 Flash actually fails. It says, the riddle is a trick. The problem gives you irrelevant information about the passenger counts. The pilot's name is not provided. So in this case, even the 3.5 Haiku and Gemini 1.5 Flash both fail, and GPT-4 and 4.0 Mini are the only ones who get it right. I mean, 4.0 Mini is not exactly right, but it's way better. Very close to being right. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, so this is a spatial reasoning question. So the question is, you start at a point, you walk 500 yards in any direction, then you turn left 90 degrees and walk 10 yards. Then you turn left 90 degrees again and walk indefinitely. Would you ever touch your first point again? So the answer is no, because it would be moving parallel to the first point. So let's see which models get these right. Okay, so Claude 3.5 Echo goes with the step-by-step procedure. It says let's solve step by step. And in this response, the reasoning of the 3.5 Haiku model is absolutely awesome. You can see it's very detailed. It says to touch the first point again, you would need to trace a closed path. But in this case, you have created an open path. It also says that the 10-yard perpendicular segment has shifted you away from your original line. So the answer is that no, you would never touch your first point again, and the reason is this 10-yard perpendicular segment. I think this is one of the best responses that I've got to this question. Now let's look at GPT-4.0. Okay, so GPT-4.0 seems to overcomplicate the things. It says that we start from point O to A and move 500 yards, then we go from A to B by changing direction by 90 degrees, which creates a right triangle. So I don't think we have formed a complete triangle before we have closed it, but let's see. Then it correctly identifies that at the second left turn and begin walking indefinitely from B, you are moving alongside a line that is parallel to the line you walked from 0 to A by a offset of 10 yards, so you will never touch your starting point again. The reasoning is nice, but it's overcomplicated. So now let's look at GPT-4o Mini. So the GPT-4o Mini is even more complex because it brings the direction of north, south, and east, west, all of that. But it gets the answer as right. You would never touch your first point again. So I think in terms of simplicity and to the point answer, 3.5 Haiku is the best, followed by GPT-4o and followed by GPT-4o Mini. But there is one more model we have to check, and that is 1.5 Flash. So let's have a look. What does it come up with? So we have got the answer from Gemini 1.5 Flash. It says that no, you wouldn't touch your starting point again. And the reasoning behind is absolutely pathetic, because you see, we have said that we have walked 10 yards and then after the another left we walk indefinitely, but it says that our first leg is 500 yards long and the second and third legs are 10 yards each, and after that result the reasoning doesn't even make any sense. Compared to other three models, they surely did complicate things when it comes to GPT-4 and 4o mini, but the reasoning behind was consistent and right. But here the reasoning of the model is changing in every line, so this is a complete fail according to me. So I think the best answer is Claude 3.5 Haiku, followed by GPT-4o, followed by GPT-4o Mini, and Gemini 1.5 Flash fails this test. So now let's move on to next question. Okay, so next question is a max question where you need BODMAS or PEMDAS to solve this question. The answer is minus 60.54. Let's see which model gets it right. Okay, so 3.5 Haiku gets it right, GPT-4o gets it right, and so does 4o Mini as well. So let's ask this question to Gemini 1.5 Flash as well. And it comes with the correct answer minus 60.54. So this is a pass from all of the models. Let's move on to next question. Okay, so this is a very hard max question, and even the top of the line models get it wrong sometimes. So let's ask the question. The question is, in a certain non-leap year, January 1 was a Monday. What day of the week was April 1 of the same year? Let's see which model gets it right. The answer is Sunday. Okay, so no model gets it right. 3.5 Haiku says it's Saturday. GPT-4o says it's Monday, and GPT-4o Mini says it's Saturday. Now, so let's ask this question to 1.5 Flash as well. Let's clear this and yes, ask this new question. Okay, so Gemini 1.5 Flash gets it right. It says it's a Sunday. So models actually vary a lot when it comes to this question. So let's do a rerun of all these models to actually see how consistent they are. So we might have an answer over here. Okay, so Gemini 1.5 Flash comes with Sunday again. That is surely a pass. So now let's look at these three models. So 3.5 Haiku gets it right as Sunday this time. GPT-4o also Sunday, and 4o Mini gets it wrong Saturday. So in this particular question, I think Gemini 1.5 Flash is the clear winner over here. It gets Sunday both of the times, and the worst performing would be GPT-4o Mini because it didn't get Sunday either of the two times. So let's move on to the next question. So let's ask the next question. Write a snake game in Python using Pygame. Let's see. Okay, so let's ask this question to Gemini 1.5 Flash as well, and by the time we return, it will be ready with its response. So let's look at 3.5 Haiku's code. So I have prepared my IDE already. So let's check how this code works. So immediately we don't see any kind of errors. Let's have a look. Okay, so far so good. Everything is working and game over. Absolutely perfect. So now let's look at GPT-4's answer. GPT-4 will surely pass this. So there are no kinds of errors. We do see some warnings, but it's okay. Okay, so I think it's way better compared to 3.5 Haiku, but it is a comparatively bigger model. But we don't have any kind of scoring system. GPT-4 generally comes up with a score, but I think we didn't explicitly mention. So in terms of look, it's good, but it's in terms of functionalities behind 3.5 Haiku. So let's see if we have a game over. Okay, so press Q to quit and C to play again. Let's click C. Okay, so we have the play again option. So I think comparatively it's better than 3.5 Haiku. Now let's look at GPT-4o Mini's code. So GPT-4o Mini and 1.5 Flash, these are the smallest models. So if they get it right, then it's absolutely awesome. Okay, so this is pretty much identical to GPT-4o's code. And similarly, we have a play again and quit option. So given this model is many times cheaper than Claude 3.5 Haiku, it is a very good response. So now let's look at 1.5 Flash. Our code should be ready. Okay, so I gave the April question to this model, I guess. So let's copy the Python question. Let's give it to the model. It is blazing fast if you ask me the response. Okay, so let's have a look. So immediately we don't see any kind of errors. Let's try. So when it comes to looks, it looks pretty awesome, and it also has the score system. Given the size of it, its coding performance very good. So let's see what happens when you get a game over. So the code exits. Nice, this is a pass. So all the models passed this, and I think all the models gave us a different variant of the snake game. The GPT-4 and 4o Mini being of the same company gave very identical codes. Let's modify this code a bit to ask a even harder question. So the question is, write a snake game in Python using PYQt5. Let's see. So we'll copy this and also ask the 1.5 Flash as well. So 3.5 Haiku took the longest to give us the code. So let's see. Coding for PyQt5 is actually comparatively harder, and this is the reason. See, let me try once more. So see, the snake is not functional anymore. It's none of the controls are working. So this is a fail from 3.5 Haiku. Unfortunately, let's look at GPT-4o. Let's run this. Okay, so even GPT-4o failed this. Interesting. Now let's look at GPT-4o Mini. Let's run this. Okay, so it does ask us to restart, but I don't see anything over here. So this is a fail from GPT-4o Mini as well. So now let's look at the final model, that is 1.5 Flash. I don't get what this is, but let's copy. Would you look at that? It is a proper functioning snake game, and it also looks a bit different. I don't know if I like it or not, but it is very nice. We have the score, we have the food, the snake is growing pretty normally. Let's see if the game over is working. See, there is a game over. We don't see any kind of a game over screen, but the code is functional. So when it comes to coding, this Gemini 1.5 Flash model is killing it. So now let's move on to the next section. So this is question from language understanding. Let's see. The question is, give me 10 sentences that end with the word mango. So this is pretty hard for all the state of the art models as well, but we'll see. Starting with 3.5 Haiku. So mango, 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 mango. Okay, so it gets all of the sentences right. Let's see GPT-4o. So even GPT-4o gets it right. Let's look at 4o Mini. So even 4o Mini gets it right. Let's ask this to Gemini 1.5 Flash. Go. Okay, so it seems all the sentences are mango. So this is a clear win for from all the models. Let's move on to the next question. So the question is pretty hard. Write a meaningful sentence where each word starts with the next alphabet. Start from me and end the sentence said. Let's see. Let's look at the sentence. A, B, C, D, E, F. So I think 3.5 Haiku passes this question. Let's look at GPT-4o. So it's a clean sweep from GPT-4o as well. Let's look at GPT-4o Mini. Even GPT-4o Mini is right. Let's look at Gemini 1.5 Flash as well. Let's see how it performs. So even this model gets it right nearly, but as you can see, it repeats E two times. So compared to other models, I think it ranks lower because they properly followed the instructions that I gave in the prompt. So the worst performing in this case is Gemini 1.5 Flash. So what is the conclusion? I think the Claude 3.5 Haiku's performance was better in that spatial reasoning question, and on the contrary, actually Gemini 1.5 Flash was very good in coding, and in the rest of the questions GPT-4o Mini's answers was very close to GPT-4o. But I don't see that step improvement that Anthropic is talking about, which we should expect in 3.5 Haiku, given its pricing, because we have to consider the pricing as well. It is nearly 3 to 4 times costlier than GPT-4o Mini and 1.5 Flash. I think for most of the tasks, I would still prefer GPT-4o Mini, because in my daily use as well, I see GPT-4o Mini mimics GPT-4o very closely, and there are only some hard questions where you see the difference. Gemini 1.5 Flash has actually impressed me when it comes to coding. When it comes to other tasks, it was not very good. I hope that gives you a clearer picture as where all these models stand. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure you like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to all. And I'll see you guys in the next one.